Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are getting into some mechanics. These are 3 simple things you could do to prevent your mower from being down this summer and you being out of work in the middle of the growing season. Guys, I get tons of customers that come to me and say, you know, Chip, I know how to take care of a machine. Why am I having issues? And they're really not doing these 3 things. And these are very basic, simple things that everyone should be doing. If you're a landscaper, we're gonna review these. You could show this to your crew, you could show this to your team. And it's a good reminder to you why we do these things, the intervals we do these things, and what they're gonna prevent from happening to your mower. Guys, step 1 is oil. In your owner's manual, it's gonna talk about you should service your oil every 100 hours. The truth of that is written for the general United States. It's not necessarily written for the South or hot areas in the world. So in Florida, it is hot, like all the time.
I'm baking like a toasted cheese here. It's so hot here.
And we mow a lot more often. And oil is gonna break down and need to be changed more often. You might be able to wait 100 hours if you live in Minnesota, Maine, Canada, all these kind of places. But in Florida, you need to be changing your oil every 50 hours. This is a dipstick tube. It attaches here, and you can see this dipstick goes down into your crank case, down into your pan. And it's actually measuring your oil level down in here. Right now we're sucking the oil out of this engine. It's getting a reseal because keeping oil in your engine is absolutely critical. This engine started leaking oil and we're having to take it all apart, put all new seals in it. That way this engine can keep the oil, the life, the blood inside of this engine. Guys, these machines only carry 2 quarts of oil. If you wait 100 hours, you're gonna be low on oil. All Kohler, Kawasaki, Toro, all these engines are made in a way that their tolerances allow for the engine to consume up to a 1/4 ounce of oil per hour. So if you wait 100 hours per the recommendation, you're gonna be almost a 1/2 quart to a full quart low of oil. Guys, this is only a 2-quart system. If you are out half of your oil, that means it's gonna get up to temperature faster. It's gonna break down faster. It's gonna cause a lot of issues. If you accidentally skip 1 oil change waiting for that 100-hour mark, you're gonna have all kinds of issues where this oil is gonna get thick, it's not gonna flow through its passageways, and it's gonna get really, really hot. One thing important to remember is that these mower engines are air-cooled. You see these fins? That is critical. You wanna make sure that your oil is good so that you can keep this engine cool. Oil is used both as a lubricant and as a coolant. As it flows through this motor, it is bringing cooler temperatures from its base, its sump, up to the hotter areas like the head, and it is helping cool those pieces down. And as we see engines get hot, we see temperatures rise and metal begins to change color and change properties, and it affects the way these engines operate. So keeping your oil changed often is absolutely critical. At least topping it off so you're always in that happy zone. I want to show you guys where is the happy zone on a dipstick. Kohler and Kawasaki have different dipsticks, but you can see in this range, this slotted range is acceptable. Ideally, you want to be near the top of that full mark. That gives you a little bit of window as it consumes some of that oil, that you don't get into this add zone. Once you get into this add zone, this oil is getting hot faster. It's gonna start breaking down a lot faster, and that's when you're gonna start having issues where this engine might have some actual running problems and could run completely out of oil and blow up on you. So that is step 1, keep your oil changed, and I recommend every 50 hours. Let's go on to step 2. The number 2 most important thing is blowing your mower off. I'm gonna show you how to blow off your engine, but let's talk about your deck first. Guys, friction and heat is the enemy. We're trying to keep that away. Look inside of this deck compartment. This is pretty average for any mower, any brand. If you don't blow it off often, the grass gets packed in here. Let me get this removed so I can show you. And now all my belts are having to run through this tinder box. And it's literally driving through dirt and grass, which it should be a nice clean place for it to work. Not only that, this is like a Survivor when you're trying to make a dang stick fire.
I have made fire!
This is gonna create a lot of friction, a lot of heat. Hold on, my light went out. You know, just simply by, at the end of every house, you just take 10 seconds and blow off your deck. It's gonna prevent this buildup, and it's gonna save you a lot of money on these spindles and belts and that sort of stuff. Guys, spindles have gotten expensive. Belts are expensive.
I declare bankruptcy!
And this type of deck maintenance is easy to do. It's almost free. It just takes you like literally 10 seconds at the end of the job. Park it in the middle of the lawn, blow it all off, and move on. Guys, you also need to blow off your engine. Let's look back here. Okay, the second thing you want to blow off is your engine. I know that might sound weird because the top of it doesn't really get that dirty, but there's a lot of debris that gets built up underneath these shrouds. These plastic shrouds are designed in a way that directs the airflow over the heads of your motor, because these are air-cooled engines. The air flows through this chopper screen, down around these heads, and if you don't blow this off often, grass gets caked up inside of here on top of your aluminum gills, and then your engine doesn't cool off. It's kind of like if I had to go run a marathon in the summer with a dang wool coat on. Right? It's not allowing that cool air to flow over these cooling gills, and it's going to make your engine temperatures go way up, which is going to cause head warps. It's going to cause your valves to get stuck. It's going to cause your crank to have all kinds of issues. I recently had an engine come through our shop. It's only less than 1,000 hours old. It's a good engine. It's on a good machine, but it blew up. And the reason it blew up is because they did not blow their engine off enough, and it had a lot of grass caked around the gills. You can see from these pictures, the grass is caked around the heads. You can see the exhaust valves got extremely hot. And when that engine gets that hot, the bolts that actually hold the piston rod to the crankshaft, they loosen. It's not because they were loose from factory, it's because they literally are melting and they stretch and they create slop and they get loose. And that engine will blow up, and the manufacturers do not warranty that.
From what you're showing me in the pictures, I'm saying no warranty. I'm going to send you an email. There's no use even fighting this. The pictures of the fins clogged and the heat in that engine caused the failure.
When we submit these to warranty claims, they make us send photos, and they have examples of engines that have overheated in certain ways, and they can see the bluing that happens on the end of the rod. They can see the bluing that happens on the exhaust valve and on the piston, and they say, hey, this engine got really, really hot. The other thing you can do to tell if an engine gets hot is the dipstick. On Kawasaki's, the dipstick is made out of material called nylon 90, and it should always be a nice tan color. And I'm going to show you what one looks like if you get it really, really hot. But this much of it sticks in the oil, and if this engine gets really hot, the tip of this thing will become brown, almost black. And if I have to send a photo to Kawasaki, they are going to instantly say no warranty. That guy hasn't been maintaining his engine, has either been letting the oil get too old and too thick, or he's not blowing off his engine enough. That's a very simple thing to do. So keep your oil checked, blow off your deck, blow off your engine, and that's going to save this air-cooled engine a lot of life. Let's move on to thing number 3. Okay, the third thing is sharp blades. Now, people think sharp blades is only for cut quality, but it's so much more than cut quality. If you have dull blades, it causes a lot of deck issues, which can cost you money, honestly, and time, and it's a harder strain on your engine. Let's compare these two blades really quickly. These are the exact same size blade. They have 2 different blade size holes, but this is a worn blade and this is a new blade. I want you guys to notice how dull a blade can get. This thing is as dull as my finger. Imagine trying to cut a tree down with a baseball bat versus using an axe, right? This is not gonna cut grass very well. It's gonna rip the grass. You're gonna have bad quality of cut, of course, but it's gonna create so much more strain on your engine as it is trying to plow through that grass and rip that grass instead of slicing it like a clean knife. Guys, sharp blades are critical. The other thing that this blade doesn't do that this blade does is this is imbalanced. As this material starts to wear away, look how much blade is missing. You have all this blade missing, all this tips missing. That creates a lot of opportunity for this blade to be out of balance. And when a blade is out of balance, that's when you start to have critical deck failure. That's gonna cost you money and put your mower in the shop. You know, here at Main Street Mower, if you have a spindle go out or a belt go bad or pulley go bad, we do it while you wait. But most shops make you wait a very, very long time. And a lot of times, just keeping sharp blades is gonna prevent that from happening. So if you put new blades on way before this, when you are in the dull area, the dull zone, You want to change your blades before you even get back to this point. We made it all the way back to here on this blade. I want to change my blades when I'm kind of, maybe, if you're paying attention to this edge, I don't want to go back to half. I want to be before half. But most important thing is you have a nice straight edge, it's sharp, and that they're balanced. Let's talk about what happens to your deck if you have imbalanced blades. So this is a Toro spindle. Toro spindles are great spindles, heavy duty, wide, very strong, robust spindle. This is not a spindle problem issue. The Toro spindle is excellent. This is a bad blade problem issue. You can see here the bearings have fallen out of this housing and the housing has flared out. Basically, by putting this imbalanced blade on this deck for so long, as this thing is moving and this blade is shaking and shimmering, it's putting all kinds of uneven wear on this spindle, and it's forcing these bearings to wear out prematurely and unevenly, and that's going to cause this spindle to heat up and fail. And guys, these spindles aren't cheap anymore. Spindles are very expensive, and so this could have easily been prevented with simply sharpening your blades more often. It is a very critical piece. The goal of this video is to help your mower stay out of the shop. Even though I run a repair shop, I don't want to see you in here for stupid reasons. I want the reasons you bring a mower to me for good reasons, for reasons that we can't figure out and can't prevent. But these are very, very easy to prevent things. So step one, make sure you always have oil in your engine. 50 hours, that's about when you want to change it. You can float that a little bit, but you're going to need to be topping off the oil. Making sure you're inside of that zone, that healthy zone. The other trick for that is you don't want your oil darker than a brown paper bag, okay? You don't want it, you want it like the color of cardboard while you're changing it. You never want your oil to look black. You want your oil to be a tan, like a brown, not a black when you change it. If it's black, it's way due. It's overdue, way past due. The other thing you want to do is blow off your deck and blow off your engine. That's going to help you do a lot of things. It's going to keep your engine cool. It's going to keep your deck clean, prevent sticks and things from shucking your belt off. It's going to keep all those gills clean, and it's also going to give you a nice sight line of your engine. If you have an oil leak or something like that, a lot of times you can't tell if there's a lot of debris around your engine. That oil is going to get soaked up by that grass clippings, and you're going to think, it's just dirty. But really what it's doing is it's leaking oil and you have no idea, and then you're going to have a critical failure, and then your mower's going to go down. So keep your engine blown off, keep your deck blown off, and keep your blades sharp, the third thing. That blade sharpness is gonna help your deck perform better. It's gonna help your spindles last longer. Average spindle life is between 600 and 1,000 hours if you maintain your blades properly. If you don't, they're gonna last a few hundred hours. And it's really your fault for not changing your blades enough or sharpening them enough. The other thing is belts are gonna stay on the deck longer. When you have dull blades, and that engine is throwing that belt towards your deck with all of its force.
What?
And if that deck isn't able to process that grass quick enough, it's gonna go slower than your engine pulley. So your engine pulley is gonna be going at 1,600 RPMs and your deck's gonna be spinning at 1,000 RPMs. They're gonna create all this slack in your belt, and you're gonna see belt tension, and bam! Your $160 belt's gonna come off. And it's really because you had dull blades and your deck couldn't keep up and process the grass quick enough. So that's also, you gotta go a little slower. You can't just floor it in the thick grass all the time.
Floor it?
No, don't floor it.
Okay, floor it.
No.
But man, sharp blades really help maintain that deck and make sure it works well for a long time. Guys, these are the 3 simple things. I hope this was helpful for you and helps you understand the reasons why. Keep your oil topped off, keep your engine blown off, and keep your blades sharp, and keep your blades sharp. If you do those 3 things, you'll stay out of the shop for stupid reasons, and you'll stay making money. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, if this was helpful, share it with your crew, share it with another landscaper, and subscribe. We got a lot of helpful videos and reviews that are gonna help you save a lot of money and be a better landscaper. Take it easy.